Okay.
Yep, I see you live. You're good.
Okay, great. So welcome today to today's next level webinar. Call it a success webinar. We used to call these success webinars. We can still call them that. This is an older document session we did earlier, which Annalisa had laying around that I think you revised today. And we've got a lot to cover. As mentioned yesterday, we mentioned that we'd be going over the kvCORE settings tab, the website settings tab, but kind of a deep dive into it. So what I'm referring to is Web and IDX.
There's actually a new link there that I'll get you. I updated it so it has different information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Information, yeah.
I'll bring it up. Yeah. There we go. And
cool,
then,
thank you.
And then we've got our Web and IDX section right here. Should I share this to everybody who's watching live?
Yeah, I'm going to drop it into the Facebook group right now too.
Okay, so we'll do that. Copy link, and then we'll chat it here. And guys, if you have any questions other than this topic, we'll get to them at the end. So, this time is for you to just get help with whatever you might need. Generally, these are a little more advanced, these sessions. We go next level, so to speak, for Mastermind. But today we're going to go a little more basic and just explore a deep dive into the website settings in kvCORE. So, here I am. I clicked Web and IDX. And Annalisa, do you want me to jump right into the settings, edit settings page? Where do you want me to start?
Let me take a look at the sheet here. So let's go ahead and start with the edit my profile. So I think that's a big one. I'm noticing, some people have signatures set up, some don't, some add social media information. So let's start there as a good basic. So if you click on your email at the top right of your dashboard, and then on the drop down, click My Profile, you're going to find a spot that's all about you 24/7, 365. And this is where you can add in phone number details, email addresses, social media handles, and very importantly, your MLS ID, so you can pull in your own listings onto your website.
Can you explain that to me? Because I've seen some people say that they're not getting their listings. This is something every agent needs to make sure they have done, or is this set up?
I would recommend that, yes.
Okay. Because
then you can use the My Listings Carousel on the Web and IDX options. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, depending on your business, but I'd say nothing, ventured, nothing gained. And so just pop it on in there.
Great. And then we have these other options right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize that phone number.
So this is where you can actually add in your cell, work, direct line, and opt what numbers do you want to have shown on the site. And then this is a really good one right here that Ryan's outlining, where it says email ryan@ryanhartman.net, and then the propnox@gmail.com. So what this is going to show you on the field right above is the email associated with your kvCORE account. So the Ryan@ryanhartman.net is the one associated with his dashboard. However, you can have the from email on your correspondence be from a different handle. So if you have a specific brand of an email and you want to have different consistency, so it doesn't show like from, Ryan@insiderealestate.com or something like that, you can actually put in a different email address there. But just keep in mind, do not use, what does it say, AOL or Yahoo? Yeah, those two do not play well with that feature. So any other carrier is fine, just not Yahoo or AOL.
Is this for purposes of syncing email? Should I be putting my email here?
That'll be the email associated with your kvCORE dashboard. So that's going to be the email at the top right of your dashboard every time.
Oh, so I should leave it. Does it not matter?
It matters.
Now, if I want, I don't have this happening currently, but if I want my emails to come into kvCORE, do I need to put it here?
No.
Okay.
To do that, you would need to sync your Outlook or Google just by clicking that little envelope.
Yeah.
And then you can sync everything up, including your calendar, Gmail, etc. Just click Google Settings and away you go.
Okay,
and cool. It walks you right through it.
I just want to make sure. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. But yeah. Okay.
And then, you have the ability, if your admin adds a lender partner for you that you work exclusively with, you can actually select the lender right there. And then you'll be sharing your new leads with that lender as they come in, so you can work in tandem with each other.
This is a big one I think a lot of people skip. And see, I've skipped it here. I don't have anybody connected. I'll have to get my buddy over at Bond Street or Dennis or somebody. But
I'm sure you know somebody.
Yeah, and then So we'll get them connected. And then the other thing we should all definitely be doing, I think I showed an example of this in the group the other day, we should all definitely have a call to action that drives traffic to our lender in our signature too. So I'll get that done. Yep.
Yeah, and the neat thing here is when you have that lender partner added, it populates a finance tab on your site. And then your lender has the ability to actually link a pre-qualification link on your site on their own profile. So you have this big cohesive communication chain you can set up pretty easily.
Great. And then I'm gonna scroll down. Was there anything else over here?
Yes. Stop. Slow down. So scroll down just a little, just a little bit. And right underneath the lender, there's also these select designations. So if you are accredited with different elements, you can scroll through this and add them in, or you can start typing a designation in that may not be here and add it manually yourself. And it's just like adding a hashtag. You just type it in, choose it by clicking the green, and it adds itself. And just
can you make it up?
Yeah, mine says don't go chasing waterfalls just for fun, right? Or too legit, but you can add in whatever you want here. Awesome. And then to the right of that, if you are multilingual, you can actually indicate what other languages you speak, and that will show up on your profile.
Let's see, Pig Latin. It's not in there.
Maybe it's not. I don't think you can actually add. It has to be an existing recognized language.
We need to put Pig Latin in there. That's kind of fun.
I mean, you could.
Yeah. Right.
I'll get on that. I know a guy. We'll ask.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's where you can add that information. And the thing is, you can add also your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. All of those social media handles go here. And it's not just the handle; it's the entire link for those pages. And that's what makes a connection to have those icons land on the top right-hand side of your website.
Got it. Yeah. So it is the full link. I see a lot of people forgetting to do this. And then what you're referring to is that at the front end of the website, if I go there quickly, up at the very top right, you'll have the icons. And I think they show some other places here and there, don't they?
I think it sometimes shows at the bottom left, but I always just say top right. It's the easiest place to find it.
We need to make these more prominent, I think, in the main searches, like more explicit. I'll mention that to the product team, but what I'm referring to is like if I'm looking at a property, I'd love to see a more prominent connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Twitter right here.
Oh, gotcha.
With a big blue icon, that call to action, since the data is already in the system. So the
other neat, I mean that's a great idea. I'd love to see some larger icons there, or a choice to have a smaller or large icon maybe in the web and IDX maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be good. So these are just like little housekeeping things. You can kind of be like, today I'm going to add my social media handles. Today I'm going to add my designations. And you can kind of work through it until you've got it set. And all of this lands, especially that About Me section right below, all of this lands as part of your biography and information you're sharing with people on your site on the agent profile.
Great. There was a quick question about the lender. Can you add two if you're an agent? I know that brokers can have multiple, but can
I don't know that offhand, but I'll make a note and we can find out.
Dennis, the hack there might be to just tell one they'll get it for January, the next one gets it for February. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll double check and loop back to the group. And
truth is, they're not going to work the leads anyway, so I don't know. Don't even worry about it.
Well, but Ryan, we do have an amazing course in our core learning portal that allows people to work with their lenders and teach them how to use the system. And we have the lender success plan.
Yes, I'm kidding around. They will work it, but there's a little work to get them engaged. You definitely want to point the lenders at those learning portal courses.
Yeah, I know our training director, Lo, worked super, super hard on those lender training courses, and they're really great. So
Ishmael says, my lender jumps on them so fast. I think that's a really good point. You want somebody who does, and if you have somebody who won't, I think you can always find somebody who does. That would be, just tell them, hey, I'm going to find somebody who's into this, and they'll know if they're not doing their job with this. Yeah.
And that's a good point of working out, if you are connected with a lender, really work out beforehand, like what are my responsibilities? What are your responsibilities? What is your response back to me going to be in time length? That way you can really know how each other are going to work it, and there's no, misunderstandings that could potentially build.
Got it.
You can try to cut that off. Now, right below the About Me,
Okay.
is also a signature area. And this is where you can add in all sorts of calls to action like Ryan has peppered in here, whether it's a click here to see current Pinellas County deals, click here to get a free report, like a marketing, a CMA, need money to buy a house. I'm pretty sure that's a link for a pre-qualification link, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I do have it in there. So that'll go
Yeah.
to my buddies at Bond Street. Yeah.
Right. So you can add these in and change them up whenever you want to, but it's a different way of presenting information, just making sure you've always got a link sending people back to your site to view trusted information.
And you can actually put you can put animated images and images in here too.
Yes.
I might make one. I had one at one point. I don't know where it went. That was
the old Giphy one?
Yeah, the gift for to sell your house. And I think somebody had given us one. So maybe we'll come up with one or two of those that everybody can use for next level members.
Your leg is showing up. Thank you. That was a little distracting. Okay, so the information you land here is in your biography. Now, everything below this where it says title on down, yeah, this is not connected to anything as of yet. So you can fill this out, but it's not going anywhere. But everything from that profile biography up north works. And it does say these items will not display on your website right now.
Okay. I can use this to take some notes and stuff. Here we go.
Sure, why not?
Right.
And then save your work, and then you're updated. Okay. So always remember to click that little save button to save any changes.
A user with that email already exists. Maybe because I'm just in here a bunch of times, I will just go back to the way it was configured.
Sure.
Forget how it was configured.
Ryan at ryanhartman.net with the prop knocks in the second one.
That shouldn't happen to you guys.
No.
Okay. Okay.
And Diana's saying, hey, again, where do we click to get to this area? Diana, you're going to click to your email at the top right and then my profile. And Mark's saying, hey, is this going to be recorded? Yes, it's being recorded live in the group right now. So you'll always be able to come back to it in this Facebook group. And we also will have this in our Next Level Mastermind group, which is a tab down that left-hand side of your dashboard once you add it via your marketplace.
Yeah, if you're a member.
Yep.
One thing I'd like to mention, this signature is so important because it can be appended to all your smart campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe it's appended to your, all the property alerts that go out. So
right.
Just want to have it at home. Do pay attention and make some calls to action down here. Annalisa, where is that setting that makes it get added to all of the smart campaigns?
You need to click save.
Yeah. And
then the little toggles right underneath it.
Here, I'm going to reset. For some reason, it's not liking that email, but here, I'm going to just reset. Okay. And then do I hit edit? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
You just toggle it to the right so it's blue, or you turn it to the left so it's gray, and you can add it as you go. Yep. Now, the neat thing about the signature is if you're creating a scheduled mass email, a one-off email, or text, you can use a merge tag to drop your signature in. So once you set this, you can just use a little merge tag, pop it in, and away it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely important. And when you build your smart campaigns, just keep in mind you don't need to add a signature for each one because it'll be on there.
Yep.
Brittany's just asking how do I get the, this is a Zoom background. Zoom lets you upload an image, Brittany. So, but if you're having a glow around me, could be the lighting. Like if you have a light behind you, could be that.
I think it was the leg.
Yeah, well, the leg, yeah, it's like shines through the Zoom.
It's stop it.
Look, Ruby painted the toenails.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
All right. Okay. All right, what's next?
All right, so moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at some web and IDX settings. So we're going to go to the left-hand side, click web and IDX. And before we move off of this page, I do want to point out something super, super important is that website content just to the right on that right-hand side underneath template.
Yes. Right
there, you have the service areas and SEO. It is integral that all of you go in and check to make sure you've added your service areas and SEO. And generally, this is something that's covered during the Agent Success Plan. The trainers do a great job of explaining what it is and how you get there, but you're also learning a lot at the time. So just make sure you jump in here, and what you can do is right now Ryan's says remove all from this list. But if you don't have anything here, it's going to say add all from MLS.
Yeah.
Now you can either click and add them all and it'll pull everything in and then you can delete them one by one, or you can physically add things one by one. Yeah. But I would say the easiest thing to do would be click to add all and then just give them the old 86 per area. And what this does is that it affects the areas we cover that shows on the front side of your website at the very bottom of the site. And then we're pulling in all sorts of neighborhood and city content for you from your MLS and auto-filling that information. So if you wouldn't mind, as soon as you get St. Pete Beach in there, opening up your website real quick and going to the main page. And what I'm speaking to when in regards to those SEO areas is this areas we cover right here. So you can affect whatever lands there. And when contacts click on like Clearwater or wherever, we're automatically going to pull in the most popular, the most expensive, the least expensive, and if scroll up below, slow down, those little black lines of like total 806. So that's 806 properties in that area, 55 are new, 268 are reduced, 6 are short sales. All of these are links to those specific properties. So you can use these in your landing pages as property search of the day. You know, these are built for you. So you can pop on your site, grab a link and post it and away you go.
That's great. These pages are good inspiration and a way to get a quick property search of the day link. I never thought of that before. Yeah.
Yep.
So
and then
listings reduced. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super slick. And then below that, this one's not a great example of that, but sometimes below the map and the real estate health, there's going to be areas or neighborhoods listed. And that's all dependent on the listing agent adding in those types of details. Like here's a good example for neighborhoods. So if someone's looking at this and they're like, oh, hey, grandma lives in, you know, Roebuck Park or what have you, they could click on that area and then see all the properties available there.
Yeah, this is a specific like condo.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of cool. It's like a specific area, neighborhood.
Yeah, town shores. Yeah. So it's, you know, it gives you the ability to kind of get a little, you know, get it more niched and focused very easily just by clicking.
Yeah. And then we'll just mention, I don't want to get too deep into this. I think we talked about this yesterday, that you can insert HTML at the top of these individual pages. Right here. So you can see where I have my YouTube video. We talked about this yesterday, and I have a link to the embed. So yeah. Let's see, Richard asking what's the difference between this and Local Logic. Local Logic has some other data.
Local Logic is cool because it shows you shopping, heat mapping. I mean, there's all sorts of amazing services there.
Yeah, and it lives inside of the actual map search. So this is a little different. Okay, so I'll go back to Web and IDX now.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so from here, after you've taken a look at your service areas and SEO, also look at the edit settings here that's right just above your URL to the right of your name.
Great.
And John, I do see your question about the Facebook Marketplace. That'll have to be for a different training because we're focusing on Web and IDX settings today. So within this section, this is where you can start affecting some change to the look and feel of your website really, really easily. Now, when you're looking at the template options here, Hero is the default website that all of you will be getting, unless you're with an enterprise account who's actually done some website customizations and so forth, which could be the case for some of you folks out there. But the Hero site is generally our default template. And it gives you some tools that you can easily affect change on, whether that is a video playing in the background, or if you scroll down a little further, you might have different types of widgets. What we're looking at here is one of those templated widgets that we just released about a week or two ago. And then right below that are these single standalone widgets, such as what is my home worth? Now, also things of which you can change is the carousel on the front side of your site, like our listings, just listed, and so forth. These are all things you could jump in and change up today if you wanted to very, very easily.
So this all happens right here, right? Like
some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it. I would say I recommend you keep the hero template at all times. If you switch to foundation, all of these little goodies kind of go away. Foundation is very simple, but hero gives you the ability to make all of these changes we're going to cover today.
Great.
Now, when it comes to widgets, there are two types of widgets available in kvCORE. There are these template homepage widgets, which give you like a pre-canned layout. And what this does is it doesn't like show you, you gotta click it. It'll show you like where they end up. So if you recognize like the top website title, the search bar, those are all static on these photos. But then it'll show you where are the normal widgets going to land. So the out of the box site is usually the standard centered at the top left. That's like the default, no changes done, anything. And that's going to include single family homes, land, condos, multifamily, that good stuff. Now, as you work down to standard full screen right below it, what that does is it spreads everything out so there's no open white, website real estate space on the left and right hand sides of your site. So it stretches things out to take advantage of the width. If we go look at the middle, it'll have modern. And then it adds in the thinking of selling, looking to purchase, get pre-approved, which remember, if you have the get pre-approved widget on there, you need to have your lender connected. So it connects to their pre-qualification. And then it moves into modern side-by-side, just to the right of that modern template, which is a little more, it's kind of like a zigzag of information and photos. So it kind of reads like a restaurant menu leading people down the page. And then at the bottom middle, there's the luxury template, which again is going to have what's my home worth, meet the team, etc. And the meet the team, if you're an individual agent and you put meet the team on there, you're going to be adding in 10 of your co-agents, like within your brokerage, and then a link to everyone in your site. So if you're an individual agent, don't use meet the team. It'll work if you have a team, if you're like a team lead and you have a team website, or an office site, or an overall admin, for a company site.
So let me, I'm gonna go back, sorry. As I saved that, there was a warning message, which I think we should call out. Let me do that.
Oh, so one thing to recall here is if you have done any type of custom work on your site prior to wanting to put a widget in place, if you add a widget here, it's going to override your custom site completely. And that's why that warning comes up. Yeah. So, take a look at your options, but don't put them in place until you really like, this is exactly what I want. So if you've had a semi-custom template created by professional services, do not edit your widgets with this tool.
Cool. I'll point this out to Ken. For some reason, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it's got my...
Yeah,
it's interesting. Maybe it's something with the design settings I chose. I
don't know. It should show up with black print. It's probably just a HTML thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to your site and you have like the default site with no width, full width custom area, you can actually go in and click yes and save to actually expand things out so there's no leftover area space on the right and left hand sides. Okay. Likewise, you can click no and it'll shrink back to the rails on each side.
Great. So I've got this changed back to the default for now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay.
So, that covers the widgets. Now, another neat thing here, if you want to look at your custom site, this is so cool, this custom site theme. This allows you to actually pick the exact color of your branding or choose a site theme with pre-canned colors. So,
yeah, and you can change it. I use a color picker eyedropper Chrome extension.
That's so rad.
Color pick eyedropper, and if you need to match, say, a color from your logo to your site, you can do that. I'll show you kind of what that looks like. I'll click the color picker right here, and then I'll hover over the Forever Florida tree is green. Let's see if I can get it. It's really faint. a little harder, but I can kind of grab the green and then match the rest of my site to that if I want. That's just an add-on. That's a Chrome extension. So you would need to search color pick eyedropper Chrome extension. Kind of just a bonus tip, not something you need, you know.
It's not something you need. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it also helps you kind of start thinking about HTML if you've always kind of wondered about it. It's a nice way to kind of get acquainted with hex codes and branding and so forth. Now, if you click into the site theme there, a little below, right above the color picker, we do have color palettes available like red torch, navy and blue, greens, grays, etc. And you can change your theme. So like this is like that moss, you know, green color. Or you can go in and you can choose a color if you click custom at the top.
Right, like that.
Yep. And then remember, anytime you make a change and you want to keep it, click save.
I'm going to stick with the purple.
I like it.
Boom.
Whew.
Highlighter.
No, listen, that is what, fuchsia? That's like
Fuchsia.
80s day glow right there.
Yeah.
That's Benetton, United Colors of Benetton. There you go. That's a callback. So then as you work your way down here, you've got your background images. Now there is a suggested size for these. It's right where if you want to upload your own image, but we also have, I think, I'm going to say at least 30 background images that are already loaded in there.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is you can check as many of these as you want. And then every time somebody refreshes your homepage, a new image will populate.
Cool. I got some Florida looking ones loaded up here.
Yep.
That's Florida. Let's see. Okay, let's save. Now I have a YouTube ID installed, so that my YouTube ID is going to override that setting, right?
Right. If you do have a YouTube video ID there for a background video to show, that background video is going to show on the desktop laptop connection. The video will not show on a mobile connection because we don't want to bog down people's stream or cost them data in loading. So you can have those photos chosen and then they'll rotate through on the mobile view. So
here's the setting without the video. And then I can choose one. You can also, again, upload your own custom if you want.
And there's an article on sizing up your images that I'll make sure everybody gets as well.
Great.
Because it talks all about optimal image sizes for everything.
Yeah. One thing I really like, I have some property tours laying around that I've used in the past. If you have any of your own listing tours that you've done, it's a really cool YouTube ID to put in the background. It's kind of a cool effect.
And it's important to note that he didn't put the entire link for YouTube in here. This kind of bungles people up often because we're not used to thinking about codes in YouTube videos. But basically you can paste the whole YouTube link in there and then just get rid of the HTTPS YouTube / part. So Ryan will grab a link here and show you real quick. And I'm gonna upload an image if I can into the group afterwards.
Here's an 11-year-old. I shudder to think what this is. Here's the video. And then you see at the end of the V right here. Right there. It says V equals. I know it's small on your screens, guys, but it's basically the ID of the YouTube video.
Another easy way to do that is to click the share button on YouTube.
Okay. Yep.
And then you can copy the whole link. I just want to make sure people recognize the differences within the tool. So copy the whole link and bring it with you back to your dashboard.
Oh yeah, this might be better. Yeah, here. I'm going to show this big. I think that this is worth going over here.
So I always just take this and I paste the whole link into that field. And then I remove that /EB, everything to the west of that code is out of here. So you only use the code itself in this section.
That goes right there.
And then another tip is sometimes you might put it in there and nothing happens. It just is a gray screen. Go back into your background video on your dashboard.
Over here.
Yep. And just put your cursor in there. Make sure there's no space before the code and make sure there's no space after the code. Make sure your cursors are tight on each end. Otherwise, it's going to be like, I don't know, it's not going to post anything. So just make sure you don't have any spaces on the front or the end.
Brittany, that video that I had, I think we have that in the next level. I can probably dig that up in a minute.
Yeah, I've got a couple that I use as well.
Yeah, we can share. Maybe you throw that on the doc later.
Yeah.
And everybody has the doc link you guys can just use. But I just grabbed an old one for a property tour. I got this one where my son is following me through a house in Philly, and then like I'm like dead on the floor, and I chase him around.
Oh, fun bonding time.
I got to put that one in there. I got to find it. Okay.
I mean, it gets people's attention, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun at the time.
Now, right above this template extra option, you can also add a secondary logo.
Oh, okay, right here.
So yeah, so if you are a person, you have your brokerage logo, of course, lives on everything that goes out for compliance. However, if you have your own logo or brand that you want to have on your site as well, you can actually add a secondary logo there that will display on the website to help make everything cohesive with your branding. So, if you've got one of those, just drag it in there, and I'll have that sizing up your images link so you can see what the optimal size is for that.
Let's try this out. I'm making one on my other monitor here. This makes me think, every piece of screen real estate is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make calls to action. So I'm just wondering what this would look like. Do I have to hit the upload right there? Yeah. Let's see where that goes.
It should load next to the other logo. There you go.
Yeah, I was playing around. See, I made a call. I made my image an embedded call to action, like text something.
With a text code. Oh, you're not wearing a hat. Who are you? This is old.
11 years ago. Okay. I was trying to show you guys. I just can't find one of the old tours, but yeah, it looks really cool if you do a property tour.
Yeah. And anytime you do a property tour, or maybe you've got somebody who does drone, footage of your area or community, you can drop that in there and upload it and, change it around anytime you want.
Yeah. Yeah, you can change the videos as often as you want. So if you have a featured listing, you can definitely put it in there. Another fun thing to do is to do a property tour and then speed up the video. I'll play with this a little more.
And keep in mind that the sound does not play. So if you're walking down the street presenting something, it's just going to be, unless you add in captions, no one's going to know what you're saying.
Right. So I just kind of undid some of that mess here.
Wow.
There we go.
Is there a way to make a second logo with a clickable call to action? Rich is asking.
No.
So you could in a custom page.
Yeah.
And you could in a blog, because then you could make it clickable to send them somewhere.
This will never be clickable.
But that would not be clickable.
Yeah. But you can play around with it and make something, I don't know, could be interesting. Because this does show actually on every page of the site, doesn't it? So if I click,
Yep.
That's very interesting actually to put, I'll play with this, but
something there,
yeah, to have some kind of message there. It's an image, but it's a message that could drive traffic somewhere you want it to go. So
exactly.
Like it could just say email your email for a list of fixer-uppers or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a lot to get through still. Yeah.
We do, but this is like the tip of the iceberg, right? But we wanted to go through some like really quick things you could affect change on today really easily. Now, underneath these template extra options, there are all sorts of pretty self-explanation type of options here, like hide your chat widget if you don't have Facebook chat or a different chat bot attached. The full width custom area is a big one, going to yes. Use a black color for your header. All of these are just different options you can put in place and kind of mess around with and change back and forth. Another really big one further down on number 1.
Down here?
Yeah, large background image. That actually adds another third of a width or a length on your photo on the front side. So instead of like it coming down halfway down your site, it's going to come 2/3 down when you look at the main page. So right now is like the normal setting. But if you go in and say, yes, large background, it should expand it down. So that's the normal one.
I think it was the other way around. This is the,
I think it's because that my screen is minimized right now too. But
yeah.
basically you can have it shorter or longer.
Yeah.
And it also affects how how your video shows as well, the shorter or the long.
Can't this section be changed right here?
I believe that is in the website settings in the home page meta description, I believe.
Website settings.
No, it's the website. Yeah, I think it's in general. So on the left-hand side, you've got all these little tabs and they lead you to specific spots, but that general is where you can add that information. So that's what's going to show up when you post to groups and at the top of your tab. And then the website title right above is what Ryan was speaking to a moment ago.
I want to see what happens if I put something there.
It's going to show up in the tab.
Yeah, that's the tab up top, right?
Yeah, the one you wanted to do before, I believe, was right above that. St. Pete, Florida, real estate agent Ryan Hartman.
No, that said Forever Florida. This is the website title that Google sees.
Oh, I think the other one's from your parent site and you can't, I don't know if you can update that.
Oh, okay. You can't update it. Okay.
I don't think so.
Got it. Okay. Never mind. I thought we could do a custom call to action right there, but maybe we can't. Yeah.
Right below that, if you scroll up just a titch, or wait, right there, ask unit. If you do a lot of condo, townhouse work, apartments, make sure you have that on as yes. Because on the cell tab, if you're using the CMA, it's going to ask for the unit number, which is very helpful.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, moving on down. If you're into recruiting, like a lot of you are, you can actually add in recruiting information here about what you're offering and add in links. You can also add in HTML here to pretty it up. And when you add information here and save, it's going to create a We're Hiring dropdown on the, I believe it's the My Agent dropdown on your site.
I made it. Oops. Sorry. What were you saying?
Wow, squirrel much.
I was doing my recruiting text. I needed to talk about my compressed matrix compensation plan. Okay.
Oh, okay. But when you add information here, it actually adds a We're Hiring tab on the front side of your site.
Okay, so let's do We're Hiring.
Yep.
And then we'll go here, and then I'll.
And then under resources, or your agent, I think actually. Slow down. It hasn't loaded in yet. Sometimes it can take up a couple minutes, but it can add a We're Hiring right on underneath your agent, and then you can have your We're Hiring information in there. And then as people register, of course, you can add them to Smart CRM filters as an agent and start sending them content. Yeah.
So it'll show up there. I would also probably do some other call outs, for recruiting, blog posts and things like that. But yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Custom header. Facebook pixel codes. Very important step. That's where you can add in all sorts of information for tracking data and analytics.
Yeah. So your Facebook pixel, your Google global snippet, things like that for advertising networks, this is a good place to put those. If you have third-party scripts like Hello Bar, this is a good place. So custom header. You can put it in the body, and you can also put stuff in the footer too. All three of these do more or less the same thing.
The footer is super important. I know there's some areas out there that have like compliance documents you have to make sure is on your site, which is set up by default with a lot of the things that we do for specific areas. But if you have other things you want to have land at the bottom left of your website that are there 24/7, 365, this is where you put it. And it lands at the bottom left of your site, just next to your MLS information.
I'll give a plug to thanks. This is the thanks code that we'll send. It'll ask for the user's location, and if it can find it, it'll add them to thanks.io database and send a postcard automatically.
Nice.
So things like that, where you're integrating with third-party, Google Analytics and
you go to your site and show them where it shows up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go to a new incognito window because I've probably closed it out in the past.
Okay. That's a great landing page example.
Yeah. Why isn't that showing up? Might have to open a new browser.
I think it'll just be at the bottom though.
No, it's an allow address pop-up.
Oh.
It's a let's see here.
Is this something a lot of people listening now would know what it is?
It scoops an ad. See right here, it says know your location.
Oh, gotcha.
And if I click allow, then it sends my address over to, thanks. That's just an example of a script. I wouldn't worry too much about it right now, but we'll do some other content about that in the future.
But so does it show anything at the very bottom of your site, or does it just is that just a pop-up you triggered?
Yeah, so by putting the
script,
okay. That's an important distinction. So these boxes, by putting the scripts in there, whatever the script behavior is, will take over. I could have easily put this in the header if I wanted to, or in the body. If I wanted to put actual stuff in the footer, let's see what happens. Let's see. I've never actually tried this. This should show some HTML down at the bottom of the site.
Mm-hmm. So test stuff and footer. So this is where you can add in anything you want, and maybe you want to supply to people for whatever reason.
It's a really good. I've never.
And there's the other social media icon right there. Yeah,
right. There's a social media icon. Never thought. That's very interesting. Like, watch this. Can I go on a quick tangent?
Well, I can't stop you, so yeah.
Just remember where we were. If I go to Web and IDX again.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I grab the seller value embed? See the embeds here?
You should be able to just prop it in there. So everyone, what he's doing is he went into Web and IDX and then clicked on embeds. And if you have other websites or you want to add these on your SEO area pages, you can actually grab these snippets of code, copy them and paste them. And it's going to supply a search evaluation to whatever site you add that code to. So if you've got a standalone for something else and you want to direct them to your kvCORE site to search, you can just drop these little searches in and connect them to your website as soon as they click it. So right now he's putting in a call to action of check your home's value now, and then he's going to add in the code for the valuation, which is what that frame is that he just pasted in. And when he goes back to his site, it's going to show, it should show that search at the bottom right there.
So you can put stuff down there. It's kind of like something you don't think about a lot, but the way that most people browse a website, they scroll down to the bottom. It's just kind of natural. Like when you're on your phone, you scroll up and down. So, picture somebody scrolling down like this, and then there's opportunity here to put calls to action down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Never thought to do that before, that we could put something in the footer like that. And then this is the regular widget, in case everybody's scratching their head and wondering. This is the same thing that's on your sell page. If I click get value, it'll pop out and attempt to build a CMA. I'm already logged in, so it's not going to ask me for my info or anything like that, but it'll spit out the CMA in a minute.
All right, I don't see any new questions that have come up. Okay, now, where did you go to get that code? So John's asking, where did we go to get that code? We just clicked on Web and IDX and then embeds.
Web and IDX and embeds and then seller valuation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so moving on down, what would you use the conversion code for, Ryan?
So this is, this fires, anything in here fires whenever somebody registers through the pop-up on your kvCORE website. So if the registration modal that pops up, this script will run under the scenes, behind the scenes. So the most common use of this is for the Google conversion code, but you might be using other ad networks that offer you a conversion snippet.
Right.
If you're not running your own ads, and don't worry about this.
And I'm going to jump in and paste the link for sizing up your images into the Facebook group and chat right now. A lot of people are like, how do I get that? Where is it? So I'll drop that in right now.
And then the custom chat widget code, I believe, is just if you happen to be using third-party chat, you can put some code in, and that'll show your third-party chat widget code. I don't have one to show, but if you're using like I forget the names of them. Man, I'm drawing a blank. But there's a lot of them out there.
Well, there's ManyChat, Pure Chat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. And then we have our core messenger bot, which is outstanding.
Tidio. Yeah. Yeah, and core messenger bot. Yep. Okay, so that's that.
Now, one thing to note, so like right below that custom chat widget, there's the Facebook username for chat. If you want to connect your Facebook Messenger, just drop in your Facebook ID.
Yeah.
And then that's going to populate a messenger on the front side of your website, the bottom right. The only time you may not see it land there is if you've actually said turn messenger off on one of your general settings. Then you just go in, turn it on, click save, and it'll show up.
Yeah. To get your Facebook username, that's just you probably have a vanity domain name. I mean, a vanity name that you've given to Facebook that you've set at some point. You know, so it's facebook.com/whatever your thing is. That goes to your profile. It's just part after facebook.com.
It's similar to when you're grabbing the code for the YouTube ID. You just grab that little snippet of information instead of the whole link. All right, so moving along, if you have an additional office address, maybe you are part of an office, but you're like on the east side or the west side or 2 hours away, you can put your own address in here as well for your office. CCPA is California only. So if you're a Californian agent, you'll need to pay attention to the CCPA information. And now we're getting into testimonials. So you do have the ability to manually add testimonials via Web and IDX, as well as connect your Zillow testimonials. And it's super, super easy to do. First of all, you're gonna say, do I wanna hide or have my Zillow testimonials show up? If you have no, they'll show up on your site with your normal testimonials. If you put in where it says connect Zillow reviews, drop in your email that is associated with Zillow, and it needs to be the same email that's associated with your kvCORE account, or put your screen name in for Zillow, either or, and then click save, and it's going to manifest a tab on the My Agent for Zillow reviews. Yep.
On the agent profile or
it should be a tab for reviews that'll show. It might take a little bit to connect, but it'll show up right there.
Okay. What are the child testimonials?
So this is important if you are a team, office admin, company admin. With this, if you're one of those three, you can actually go onto your office team or company site and click yes, and it's going to pull all of your agent testimonials up so they land on your site.
Gotcha. Ishmael's asking, he has a ton of testimonials elsewhere. How can you connect them? You can't just connect them like this, but I would definitely recommend creating a custom page and putting them on there and then having making that a link from your navigation.
Well, and you can also add, I would pick like 10, your top 10. And if you go back to Web and IDX, Ryan, on the left. If you click on the within the website content where we just looked at the SEO service areas, to the right there's testimonials, view and edit.
Oh yeah, right. I don't know about this.
And this is where you would manually add those testimonials, and you can also update your Zillow review settings right here as well. And the neat thing about the manual ones is you can enter in as many as you want, and you can say, I'm going to toggle this one on right now, and I'm going to toggle this one off right now. So you have the ability to control what is being seen and when.
Gotcha.
So this is where you can affect change there. So let's go ahead and head back over to the edit settings. So he's going to click Web and IDX and then edit settings right there to get back where we were.
Brittany's asking, any tips or tricks to generate so many reviews on Google and Zillow? It's very simple. Just ask.
Yeah.
Just so you could have in a smart campaign for closed deals, when you move somebody to close, have an email early on, just, hey, can you do me a favor? It'll help me, in the future. Would you mind just, give me a testimonial?
I think I've got a little how-to on that, and from 2019, I'll look for it and get it out to everybody.
Yeah. Andy's asking if you can add a picture of the person who did the testimonial. I don't know if you can do that or not.
I haven't tried HTML in the testimonials, or if I did, it's a long time ago, but I'd have to just, work on it and check it out.
But if you want, you can always make your own. If you do have a lot of those and you want pictures, you can make your own custom testimonial page.
Mm-hmm. That would be a custom page or a resource page.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the HTML worked in a testimonial or not. But I think we're going to have another session about where you can add video and images too pretty soon. So that'll help out everybody too.
I was just going to test that really quick. How do I get to the testimonials page? Oh, we were having trouble getting it to show.
It's going to be on your front page. So below all of your widgets and information and your carousels, your testimonials will start rolling through. So it hasn't showed up yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have to look at that and play around with it.
The way to test that is like you saw me do. I just put some HTML for an image tag, an image tag in there.
Yeah. Oh, Ernest is saying just add /testimonials.php. So it hasn't loaded in yet.
That's weird. Why doesn't it save? Maybe I didn't click save.
Because you didn't add it yet. Actually, it should have.
Maybe it doesn't like the HTML. Let's see.
Yeah, it should disappear, but it's not. We'll have to talk about that with support. Interesting. Ivy's saying, hey, other than Zillow, testimonials need to be added manually? Correct. So you would go into your web and IDX and then go to the website content to the right and start adding testimonials or editing them.
Yeah, it's not putting the image in there.
It would be cool if it did, because then you could have video testimonials playing as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on down to the custom navigation. So we're going to click Web and IDX and edit settings again to get to all of those goodies for affecting change on our site. And if you go into custom navigation, that's that fourth option down on the left if you want to do a shortcut to it. So all of these little guys on the index shoot you right to the area you need to go. And this is what allows you to actually change up what the tab says for finance or resources or agents. Like for the search label, you could like get details here, check out my properties here, your sell tab would be like, find your value or what have you. But you can actually rename those tabs right here. And if you have a destination where you want to send people to fill out information for recruiting, you can actually drop a hiring link in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So,
and this is another place where if you want to hide resources or have them show, hide finance, hide we're hiring, you can affect all of those.
Yeah, Ishmael, we're never going to be able to pull in
testimonials
for your local MLS because we'd have to do it for a couple hundred MLSs. So,
and getting them all to like get along and do stuff at the same time, it's like herding cats.
Yeah.
But like cats who just don't want anything to do with you whatsoever. So the next thing you can do is take a look at your listing carousels. These all land below like your background image or video, your listings and so forth. So you can say, oh, I want open houses to land on my first carousel. I want just reduced on my second carousel. I want sold on my third. And sold is something we're working on. It's not something you'll be able to put in place today, but it's there for future use.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I heard yesterday it's going to be about 85% of North America we're going to have sold data for. So it's really cool.
That is bananas.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So this is where those show up right here. Okay.
And when you have your MLS ID in your profile, then you can use the My Listings carousel. So that's key, another integral way, but reason you need to have that MLS ID in your profile.
Irrelevant. Nobody has listings right now. Move on. I'm just kidding. Inventory super tight, right? I think
it is getting tight.
Yeah.
There's like Thunderdomes happening here to get houses.
Yeah.
The next section is your analytics, where you can put your Google Analytics ID. You just copy it, paste it in, click save, done.
So just go to Google Analytics.
And Brittany's saying, I need to dedicate a full work session to updating my website. You can, but it won't feel like work, I don't think, because you'll be having fun kind of messing around with the look and the feel and getting it to where you want it.
And then this is coming up jacked. One of these shady crypto sites I was on set Bing as my default browser.
Ooh.
And then it's jacking me up. I feel like
That's
my
not
kids,
nice.
or I'm gonna blame it on my teenage kids. They were in here doing something.
It was the leg.
The leg did it.
Yeah, the leg did it.
I'm in my Google Analytics account. I haven't done this in so long, but there is a place where you go and you get your ID. And I know we have documentation on this. Yeah. I thought it would be simple to do.
Well, but they're always moving stuff around, so
here we go. If I click on one of these, oh, I'm in somebody else's site. Twilight Zone, but this UA number right here.
Andy's like, that's me, man.
Is it? Is
yeah,
that
it
Andy?
is. It is.
Really?
Oh, hey, Andy.
How on earth, in a million years, Andy, did I get your?
It was the leg, I'm telling you. So let's.
Did I ever work on something for you?
You're looking at my Google ads. You were going to look at my Google ads. So note to self: look at Andy's Google ads.
Okay. Thank you. Here we go. But anyway, it's the UA ID number. Yeah. Right here. So here's some, it's this number right here. I'm trying to figure out, we have a documentation in the support portal about
we'll make sure you get it.
What to do. Okay, but that's where you put it.
Yep. Okay, now the next one is agents on roster. This is really a big deal if you're an admin for a company, office, team. When you're adding people in, do you want to show people who aren't using the system on the roster or not, et cetera? So if you're a regular agent, this really doesn't apply to you much until you get to like the website custom tagline.
Wait, is this the thing I was trying to change before?
I believe so.
Here we go. This thing, guys.
I think so. I have rarely ever messed with it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right. Hopefully that was it. Yes.
Yep, it is.
Custom.
We need to have that moved to a different area.
I would put a call to action here. So let's use
like a text code.
Like this. Text home value.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use one of your existing text codes.
Your smart, put your smart number in there, and then you'll be saying, hey, lead text this to that to get information. You would just create a text code to your sell page.
There we go.
And one thing I would say as an aside to when you create a custom text code, there is a field on your custom text code that allows you to drop a hashtag on that code. So you'll be able to tell exactly what people were responding to and sort them in your smart CRM filter really, really easily. But that's a training for another day. All right. I think we're almost down the line here. This is super important. This listing section, if you don't do anything else today, scroll down just to titch their listings. Each of you are probably going to see a different list right here, just depending on the MLS of which you're connected. If you check a box, that means that type of property will show up in your search results on your site. But if you don't want pending, contingent, mobiles, things like that, just uncheck it and click save.
Okay.
The next section is coverage only show your counties. I recommend saying yes and save because then it's more concise to your area.
It's going to solve a big problem for me.
Me too. I mean, it's very helpful to make sure that it says yes.
I never knew you could do that. Okay. All right.
I never mess with the filter.
Okay.
I don't ever mess with that. The default sort and default display, these are kind of fun too. These allow you to, how do I want things to land when people get to my site? Do I want them to see prices high to low, low to high, popular properties, days on website, reductions. How do I want it to show up initially?
I usually go either low to high, high or low.
Yeah. And then the default display allows you 3 options. There's either the grid option, which is 3 properties across, unlimited down.
Here, I'll try to, let me just get to
Click
the,
on one of those, that's good, yeah.
yeah.
This is the list one right here. And then grid.
List and grid.
It's 4 across now.
List and grid are pretty similar experiences on mobile, kind of. It just kind of, they're similar. Or wait, does mobile have its own, actually? I'm not even sure.
It should size to the whatever's looking at it.
Yeah, list and grid are very similar. And then map.
And then map will give you the, oh, that's interesting.
The way I did the search, there's just.
Oh, okay. I was like, that shouldn't be happening. But what will happen is the map will show you little dots of like 6, 7, 5, like if he just does Hillsborough County.
Yeah.
And click, yeah, there we go.
Oh, I broke it.
You need to turn your geo off.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and someone's saying like, what's better, set to map, list, grid? It's really your personal preference. I mean, people can go on there and change anything up on their own view once they get there, but this is basically like the initial viewpoint. So it's just helpful to, you know, if you want map on there. I really like the map feature. Another neat feature within this in the web and IDX.
Sorry, I'm getting back there.
I know. Come on, squirrel.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go popular options. This is a key component to your site. This allows you to drop in commonly used filters in your own area, right? So I know in Florida, it's like water views, boat slips, mortgage, what have you, condo fees. I know up here on the Washington coast, there's walk-on property features that are on the coastal line, right? So there's different types of filters that are going to be unique to you that you can add here. And this adds it as a filter that people can use on the front side of your website as well, whenever you add these here. So if you click save now. Not
done. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, here we go.
Don't make me turn this car around. But when you do a search here, like on your more filters, it should.
I probably need to refresh the page, but they'll show up. They'll show up right here. Okay.
Yeah. They should show up as options, and I know they will for sure show up on the front side as well.
Seller.
Yeah, here it is. Rental options, furnished allows pets, and then it added in no HOA fees. So it adds them in per category. And then here's all the extra ones that he just added.
Cool.
So you can go in here and really give it a customized experience, you know, just by lending these additional filters in.
So this is going to mirror kind of the way your MLS spits it out. So just keep in mind that it might not always be user friendly. We're just taking the data over from your MLS and kind of throwing it in here. So,
yeah,
you know, private pool 1 or 0 doesn't mean much to your
right. They're going to go 0. Then why do we even have a pool?
Yeah. So you might want to not have that because it'll cause confusion. So just test it out after you set it up.
Yeah. Keep in mind, it works exactly off of the filters of which your MLS uses. Yeah. So, you know, keep that in mind.
Yeah. Cool. This
but
is
I think, you know,
right? Yeah.
Once you get this in place, you could create a small video to be like, hey, thanks for signing up. Here's a tour of my website and how you can customize your experience.
Yeah.
And then you can walk them through the areas we cover, how to use the search, how to add in keywords, and, you know, just invite them back. And, you know, then they can save their own alerts on the front side. They can sign up for market reports. I mean, there's a lot of options for folks there.
Yeah, the website tour is a wonderful approach to retargeting, you know, on YouTube and Facebook as well. So great. Hey, thanks for being on my site the other day. Here's some things you might not have noticed while you were there. You know,
right.
Then you point them out.
And Brittany's saying, hey, can I ask a random question? Absolutely.
And then, but that's pretty much it for the tour while Brittany asks her question.
Yeah.
that was our good little website, tidy little hour, right? I think I don't know if we have a lot of times for extra questions, but if you guys watch this on Facebook, you can pop some questions in down there. We'll get to them. We'll get this replay live in the next level members area, and it'll of course be live on Facebook for you to watch later too.
Right. Oh, and it looks like Brittany has a question about Facebook advertisements.
So Brittany's asking, she's running an ad and she wants to test running it in a different county to see if she gets better leads. So I would, Brittany, I would duplicate the ad set. So I can do this, show you this really quickly. Here. Duplicate the whole ad set because the ad set is where the targeting for your county is set. So I would come in here, go to ad sets, and then duplicate that. You can duplicate it within the same campaign. So when I click duplicate here, you can do it in an existing campaign, or you can create a separate campaign if you want. And then you'll be able to change the county. And then all the ads that were in the ad set will be totally good and ready to go. You might need to change the actual ad copy if you are referencing the county. So.
And John's asking, can we take a listing from our kvCORE website or the MLS and place them on the Facebook Marketplace? I have not done that previously. Have you? Right?
Yeah, I think Ernest and I did a session about market.
That's right. That's right.
Here we go. Boom. Facebook Marketplace with no political discussions. If you're watching the replay, this is insiderealestate.com/webinars. We have this YouTube playlist, and that one's about number 9 today as we record this.
And I'm going to drop it into that Facebook group post as well.
Yeah. But great, guys. Thank you for the questions. This was kind of a fun one. I learned a few things. We'll be back next Tuesday at 12 p.m. East. And in the meantime, yeah, just use the Next Level Mastermind if you're a member there, or the Facebook group at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group if you have any questions or concerns.
Yeah. And if this is something where you're looking at this saying, okay, I would love to do this, but I don't have time.
Oh, yeah.
There is a marketplace option for you where you'd be working with me and helping you set some of these elements up. And you'd also get about 45 minutes to an hour private one-on-one with me about the setup system. So check out that kvCORE setup service in the marketplace, and I can help you make some tweaks to your website, get some lead gen tools ready for you to give you a good running start in the system.
Great. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
And Elisa.
Bye-bye.
Good call to action. Your chops are, you're progressing, Grasshopper.
Ah, and so the master is now taught by the student, Ryan Hartman.
Very good. All right. See you guys later.
All right. Bye.